Tēnā koutou katoa e te whānau. Nau mai haere mai ki o te poti Dunedin. Welcome into the Edgar Centre here in Dunedin, where it is the Southern Hoiho taking on the Tokomanawa Queens in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Don't forget, we're just under 1 hour away from the JJ Gardner Homes Tauihi basketball game. But first, it is the Rapid League, and joining me in co-commentary today is Kaysen Bookman. Kaysen, we've absolutely loved the Rapid League. Give us a little spiel about how it works.
So the Rapid League is as rapid as it can get in a basketball sense. You get four 4-minute quarters, so 16 total minutes of play. There's no timeouts from the sideline. However, there are 2 player timeouts per half per team. So the players can meet with their team, but they can't have any sort of coaching. And then there's 1 minute in between each quarter. So it is very fast, very rapid.
We can see here the Tauihi leaderboard, and you can see how important those Rapid League points are, because as you said, you get 1 point for every win, and the Tokomanawa Queens, well, they've got 5 points there. 6 points for the Paukai as well. The Hoiho, though, they've only got 1 win here in the Rapid League, so this is very important.
Yeah, exactly. Every win counts, and especially with this Rapid League, if you are struggling in the main league, like the Paukai are doing, then the Rapid League's what's keeping you in the running, you know? So they're tied right now, but they really need to get some wins in the JJ Gardner Homes Tauihi League.
Absolutely, it's very close to find out who is going to be in that Final Four in Porirua, because, I mean, with only 5 teams, only one's going to miss out. But let's take a look at the starting team for the Tokomanawa Queens in the Rapid Leagues. Kenny, Hunter, Graham, Mason and Truesdell. Plenty of special names there, particularly because some of them are Torfords.
Yeah, exactly. They have a completely stacked Rapid League team, and their record shows it. They're 5-2. And 2 of their losses were close losses, but again, you've got Graham, who was playing some big minutes in the Tauihi League as well, and Hunter, Kenny, Mason, Truesdell. It's just a stacked lineup. We love to see it.
Also, a couple of those players as well getting some big minutes in the Tauihi League as well. And this is the starting 5 for the Southern Hoiho. O'Connell, well, both O'Connells are starting. Mitchell, Roberts here, and Richards. And look, these guys are really impressive as well. Look, they've only won 1 game, but they'll have their tails up and hoping to get a win at home.
I love the Hoiho. I respect the Hoiho for keeping this lineup all throughout the season. Yeah, they're 1-7, but they're sticking true to their guns, and they're allowing these players to develop, which is what this Rapid League is all about.
Absolutely. As we see the players just warming up for the final few minutes before we get into this. And look at this head-to-head. Well, it speaks volumes when you look at the Hoiho, 5 losses in a row. Can they break the drought?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're going to have to shoot a little bit better than 28% from the field, whereas the Queens, they are extremely efficient. And yeah, if you see there, the 3-point attempts, they're shooting about 10 per game compared to the Queens, 7. The shots just aren't falling for them. So hopefully they can try to squeak a win out here tonight. They'll be edging a 4-1 because they are still struggling in this Rapid League, but don't count them out. They are feisty down south.
Remember as well, in the Tauihi League, that Southern Hoiho are leading, but let's take a look at the referees. Harry Apes, Regan Ashley and Britt Young for today. But it's very close, as I said, in the main Tauihi League and the Sky Broadband Rapid League. You can see Hunter there. And good to see a bit of a crowd coming in Dunedin as well for Wednesday night basketball. How good to have it all throughout the week.
Yeah, you love that midweek basketball. It's basketball all week, really, bar Monday. Usually there's basketball on most nights of the week, especially for these women. Started with the Sal's NBL a few months ago, and now the women have taken over, and they are on your screen now. They are a great squad, this Queens team.
So remember that the Hoiho, well, this is just their only game in round 6. Next week they'll have 2 games, one at home against the Paukai and then one away against the Kahu. And while for the Queens, they play tonight and then they'll back it up again on Friday against the Paukai back at home. And as a player, do you enjoy playing this close together, or do you like having a bit of a break? I mean, the Hoiho have quite a large break heading into the next round.
Yeah, it really depends on the players and obviously the legs. The youth, that helps a lot. If you've got a bunch of young players, it doesn't matter how quickly or frequently you play back-to-back, but with those older players, they have a little bit more mileage on their legs, so they might need a little bit more recovery time. Personally speaking, I love a back-to-back. I just get it done, go, chuck them all in, get all the games in at once, and then you can rest. But you definitely feel it when you have back-to-back games.
So Truesdale and O'Connell, Jen O'Connell, will get us underway for the tip-off. Remember that the Tokomanawa Queens, the Ansco Tokomanawa Queens, are in the mint and the Hoiho in the yellow.
I think that was a guess there. Didn't really know who it went off of.
So they both just stared at each other and decided, let's go with the Queens.
That was pretty much a coin flip.
So Mason inbounds to Hunter. So no, that's Kenny. Kenny with the ball there. Going in under is Mason with the reverse. That is a nice start for the Queens.
Yeah, great offense. They've been so efficient with their offense this year, slashing to the basket, getting that backdoor cut with the easy finish from Paris Mason.
Hoiho now with their first possession. Firing the shot away was Mitchell. Unsuccessful, so the Queens will go again.
I love that shot from them. You know, you got to let it fly if you're open, and you got to try to get some cheap points on the board, especially against this Queens team who has the ability to knock it down from anywhere. What a beautiful shot.
Latava Kenny with the pull-up jumper. That was pretty to watch. Just looking for the options out on the edge. Oh, and beautiful three-point shot coming in from the Hoiho.
Yeah, Brittany Richards, what a shot. That's exactly what they need. They'll be happy to see those three balls going in. And the answer back just a little bit long on that layup. Jennifer O'Connell cleaning up the boards as she's done all season in this Rapid League.
So looking for another opportunity. This time she varies up her shot. She got the three, and then she'll get the rebound, crashing the boards. Great work from Brittany Richards.
It looked like Tegan Graham thought she was going to get called for a foul. She just kind of stopped on that play. Brittany Richards was able to get her own rebound, but hopefully she can make up for it. A little bit short on that three. Again, the Hoiho pushing in transition.
It was a good find getting Tegan Graham out on that edge, and not falling for the three was the Hoiho. And well, struggling to get the ball in. Good defense coming in from Truesdale. Ended up blocking from behind, but disappointing for the Hoiho. They had plenty of opportunities then.
Yeah, they've got to stick with it because you want to capitalize on those opportunities, and the rejection from Brittany Richards. So in the first few minutes, Brittany Richards has been a standout for this Hoiho squad. As you mentioned earlier, they were relentless on the offensive rebounds, just kind of throwing that ball up off the glass, hoping it would go in. And he's a little bit more finesse than that, but I like that energy from the Hoiho.
Kenny finds Mason out on the edge into the game is Sopawanga, that's Te Araroa. And with the turnover of the Hoiho, so they've got the ball, and it's a foul as well immediately on Te Araroa Sopawanga.
Straight into the game and straight onto the stat sheet with a foul. I believe, don't know if I'm correct or not, she might have been out of the last game for the Queens. I need to check myself on that, but as you see here, a little bit of an earring situation. Can't have any of those in when you're playing in this league.
Hoiho a deep two, and well short of the rim, so Sopawanga brings it up, finds her teammate, shooting from outside the arc. Couldn't think that was Tegan Graham, but Truesdale, good hustle.
Again, a nice offensive rebound there from Josie. And I like that shot from Tegan in transition. She's a great three-point shooter, and she's extremely efficient from behind the arc. In the Rapid League, she's shooting, well, she hasn't shot many three-pointers in the Rapid League, but in the Tauihi League, she is shooting about 30%. So that ball's in her hands beyond the three-point line, she's going to let it fly.
So Tyler Mitchell inbounds the ball. Gets it to Caitlin O'Connell. Jen O'Connell with the ball, no relation. This time it's Millie Simpson. Just looking for some options here. Nice spin move. Gets the shot away and gets the foul too, so she'll head to the TAB free throw line.
Yeah, nice patience there from Caitlin O'Connell. She did a great job just sticking with that drive, taking a bump, using her pivot foot well, and then getting the shot off with the left, and found herself at the TAB.
So Caitlin O'Connell, first shot just bounces in and out of the rim, and don't you hate that?
No, that's the worst shot if you're a basketball player, especially at the free throw line. You want to see only net, no rim. And she got the roll on that second free throw.
So 1 from 2 from the TAB free throw line. The Hoiho. Kenny looking for her options. Again, links up well with Graham, but she just couldn't get the roll on that one.
That was a great pick and roll set from Tegan Graham there. Used her body well, took the contact, couldn't get the finish. Great defense to get that stop.
The Hoiho, what can they conjure up here? Get the pass into Jen O'Connell. Gets it back out. This time they fire the three. Oh, and it's a 4-point play. Brilliant shot. I think that was Tyler Mitchell.
That was hanging in the air for about 3 seconds, and out of our screen, we just lost it in space, and then it just went right in for the and one. As a shooter, that's what you love. And one opportunity, and she got the 4-point play.
How good from Tyler Mitchell, granddaughter of Sir Colin Meads, a legend out of Tikuiti. As the Queens try and find a 3-point from the edge, couldn't get there. So O'Connell, Caitlin O'Connell brings the ball up, down the hands of Jen O'Connell. Here goes Mitchell again. She'll be full of confidence after that shot. Still looking for some options. They fire away with 3.
Hoiho are loving the 3 ball at the moment, and a careless pass from Latava Kenny to Tegan Graham, who was not paying attention and got it off the bum, out of bounds, and Hoiho ball again. Queens looking a little bit flat compared to the Hoiho, and that's it's kind of been the story of their season. They start off a little bit slow, and they always finish strong. And the Hoiho are going to use their player timeout here. So again, a player timeout is where the person in possession of the ball can call a timeout. You can meet with your teammates. However, the coaches have no involvement whatsoever. So as you see here, they have to stay on the court and only talk amongst themselves. And they also get to advance the ball forward. However, the Hoiho were already in the front court. They'll just move a little bit more forward. So it's more advantageous if your opponent makes the shot and you take the ball out of bounds and call the timeout with not much time left, and you get to go all the way into the front court.
Looking for the clutch play. Didn't they get it? Oh, almost.
Was that another sky ball from Tyler Mitchell? Love that.
Oh, they almost got there. So after the first quarter in the Rapid League, the first 4 minutes, the Hoiho lead at 10 points to 4.
Yeah, they have come out strong in this Rapid League. They have something to prove, you know? They've struggled a bit this season with the Rapid League, and just they've got 1 win on the season, and that was against an early Kahu squad. So for them right now, they've got nothing to lose. So that's why you're seeing them chuck up so many 3 balls this quarter. I think they've shot about, let's see, what have they shot? They are 2 for 6 in that first quarter. So in 4 minutes, they launched 6 3-pointers, shooting it at 33%, compared to the Queens, who only shot 3 and haven't made 1 yet. But they are shooting 40% from the field, compared to the Hoiho shooting 16% from the field. So they're doing a little bit better from behind the arc, from deep, struggling a bit in the paint, but that might be the difference in the game, is who's going to be more efficient inside.
As you can see on the bottom right there, Hoop Heads is on tonight at 8 o'clock. But you will all be watching The GJ Gardner home Tauihi basketball game between the Tokomanawa Queens and the Southern Hoiho. So the Hoiho with the ball. They got off to a great start. Remember, they've only won one game in the Rapid League. Ball in hand is Tyler Mitchell. She's feeling confident. Oh, almost got that.
Her shot is looking great tonight. That was in and out. You just got to keep firing those three balls. Again, the Hoiho coming out with some pace. You need to maintain it for the rest of this game.
Queens, Hunter with the ball. Looks for the bounce pass, but it bounces right in the hands of the Hoiho. And going in herself, no, in fact, kicking the ball out to Brittany Richards. Again, they're really confident shooting outside that arc, but not finding too much success thus far.
Gracie Roberts-Hare's defense has created a lot of opportunities for the Hoiho. She's had a couple of steals in the first quarter and to start off this second quarter. Again, her defense, she's just up and she's relentless, and hopefully that's going to create a few more chances for the Hoiho.
Sopoanga being hassled on defense and then coming in, cutting across. Oh, unable to get there was Langton. Mason passes the ball straight into, you said it, Gracie Roberts here defensively has been great.
Oh, and the little hop, skip, jump finish.
Millie Simpson. Great finish from Millie Simpson. Studies medicine at Otago.
The Hoiho just seem to be firing on all cylinders at the moment. Queens struggling from offense, but they are getting plenty of offensive rebounds. Cutting to the basket well, just can't get those shots to fall at the moment.
Well, with the Hoiho Tauihi team doing so well, these will be valuable points if they can get a point here in the Rapid League and get the win. 5 seconds left on the shot clock, going up and not successful, but good defense coming in from Langton.
Yeah, Langton's got some length on her, so that was a great job challenging that shot, that drive in. Shot clock winding down, didn't have much other option but to take it up herself. Fell a little bit short. So the Queens are going to hopefully answer back here with 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
A fake out to the left and then spinning around to the right. That's nice stuff from Langton.
Yeah, you've got to expect that from the lefty, you know. If you're going to shut her off going to the right, that's an easy spin back to her left hand. A great recognition there from Eva Langton.
Getting a hand to it was Kenny, so Hoiho will inbound on the sideline. 13 seconds left on the shot clock, but they just are starting to click. Finally, it's come towards the end of the season, but it's been a while, and just as I say that, they can't connect with each other and find someone to inbound the ball to.
Yeah, I don't think the defense there from the Queens wasn't so strong that a 5-second call was warranted. I think just a little bit of miscommunication from the Hoiho. So again, the Queens looking to come alive here to finish this first half, and a great job by Tegan Graham driving in. And Tyler Mitchell not too sure about that call. She thought it was all ball. We'll see here on the GJ Gardner Homes replay. Good drive there by Tegan Graham. And hard to see from our angle.
It was so quick that I couldn't even see if I tried.
Yeah, it's the hand coming down on the top of the ball. That's a pretty obvious foul call for the refs, but from our angle, couldn't see if she got all ball or if she got the arm.
Graham gets 1 point from the TAB stripe. So the Hoiho looking to get back into the groove they were in beforehand. They're just looking for their options. Eva Mee is on to
Great defense.
the quarters, like, and as you said, yes, she's been really good coming off the bench. Has Langton. Mason fires the ball back inside, but finds the hands of a Hoiho player. And that is Tyler Mitchell. Roberts here, just looking for some options, calling her teammates to come forward. She fires the three, just bounces off the rim. And they won't get the offensive call.
So a couple of empty possessions for the Hoiho. They scored 10 in the first quarter, only 2 in this quarter. Well, compared to the Queens have only also scored 3 points. It's been a bit of a quiet quarter from both teams, but Yeah, just trying to find the rhythm. Both teams looking a little out of sync at the moment. But this girl right here, Eva Langton, proving herself defensively. And Tauihi unable to save that ball out of bounds. So 29 seconds left in this half. What are the Hoiho going to do with this possession?
It was good hustle from Millie Simpson. Let's just say, what can they do from this position here? About 13 seconds left on the shot clock. 4 seconds less than what's on the game clock. A really high shot again, but again, the person getting attached to it was Langton.
Yeah, Eva Langton, she's got her hands everywhere, and you've got to respect her length. And she can jump too, so you can't expect to be able to shoot it right into her hands because she's definitely going to get a tip on it.
And again, we have another Sky City player timeout, this time by the Queens, to advance themselves into the forecourt. And get your phones out and scan that QR code right there, because that is a ticket to the big game. You register your community group, get some free tickets to some of the games. 4 seconds left. Kenny, oh beautiful pull-up jump shot.
That was clean from Kenny. Nice pump fake, dribble to the left, pull up, on balance, and drains the jumper. Well done from Tauihi.
Oh, much lower scoring quarter than what we saw in the first quarter. So 12-9, the Hoiho lead the Ansco Tokomanawa Queens. And it's 2 points for the Hoiho in that quarter, 5 for the Queens. And starting to see a little bit of a momentum shift.
Yeah, absolutely. The Queens did a great job defensively to keep the Hoiho to only 2 points, where the Hoiho came out strong in that first quarter, and in the second quarter went a little bit silent. Again, I think living and dying by the 3 ball at the moment. They need to get a little bit more movement on offense, get some paint touches and get some kickouts, because at the moment the kind of dribbling into the 3-point line and then letting it fly into the hands of Eva Langton isn't going to work in this second half.
And again, get those phones out and use that QR code using the code PASS to get a discount on some Sal's Pizza. It lasts for a few days as well too, so you can order more than once using that code.
I thought you meant the pizza lasts more than a few days. I was like, girl, you got to eat at least 3 pieces when you sit down.
And this is a big one as well. The Final Four in Porirua. Tickets are available now. And again, scan the QR code. We've got QR codes for days here.
Yeah, just scan away, guys. You get so many discounts, so many benefits. Get those phones out. Use them. Use them while you're watching this Rapid League game. Let's talk about the 3-point shooting from the Hoiho. They're 2 for 10 in that first half, shooting about 20%, whereas the Queens are 0 for 5. So they're at 0%. And then from the free throw line, the Hoiho are 2 for 3, which is 66%. And the Queens only 1 for 2 at 50%. But the rebounding, pretty much even, with the Queens at 13. Hoiho at 10. Assists, none for the Queens. 3 for the Hoiho. And turnovers, 6 for the Queens, just 1 for the Hoiho.
That was the issue in the first quarter, was those turnovers. But what can the Queens do now after a pep talk? Well, that was a really nice play, finding Truesdale, but unable to convert into points. The Hoiho looking for options. Mitchell to Jen O'Connell. Back to Mitchell. Kicks the ball out to O'Connell. So O'Connell here. Gets the pass up. Oh, and it's a beautiful shot as well coming in from Simpson.
Got the touch on the finish. And again, we talked about it at the break, how the Hoiho need to find the paint more. And that's exactly what they did on that play.
Well, Hunter looked for the 3-point shot. One of a few Tall Ferns out on the court in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Graham Couldn't get the roll there. Rebound again. Gonna get a third rebound. This time she makes it count, does Langton.
Yeah, and Langton, she has been the story for the Queens. Ever since she's come in the game, they've been on a scoring run, and she just stays on the play. She gets that offensive rebound. On the left-hand side, she is deadly.
Simpson with a difficult pass to Mitchell. She reels it in. Pressure coming in from Kenny. Wide open and free was O'Connell. Jen now, and it's a travel.
So she got to the paint, but there was just a little bit too much traffic. Caught herself in a spin cycle and turned the ball over, unfortunately, for the Hoiho. So crucial possession defensively for the Hoiho. They need to get a stop and try to end this scoring run from the Queens.
3-point deficit between the Queens and the Hoiho. Remember, the Hoiho have only won one Rapid League game, and that's a nice pass from Kenny to Langton. Couldn't reel it in though.
Yeah, that was a great look. Excellent job drawing the attention of the defense. It's a kind of a tough pass to thread it through the two defenders. And then they turn the ball over, and the Hoiho again with the possession, but a great hustle, great read from the Tauihi Kenny.
I like the drive from Millie Simpson, and then just tried to kick that ball out to Tyler Mitchell. Good read on defense coming in from Kenny. Jen O'Connell with the ball. Passes it to Brittany Richards. Back into Jen O'Connell. Disrupting was Kenny. They fire the three. And again, probably just need to revert to those points in the paint, because a few times Jen O'Connell was free.
Yeah, she's really looking to distribute the ball, not so much shoot the ball. Oh, and Tegan Graham, unfortunately, steps out of bounds. Happens to the best of us. You lose your perception of where you are on the court and you just step on that out of bounds line. But again, like you said, the Hoiho are doing a better job getting into the paint. Now they just need to get some finishes inside.
So a minute and a half left in this third quarter, and there's that Jen O'Connell look back. She pushed off the player.
I think it was a 3-second call.
Oh,
yeah, so she was camping a little bit too long. It was an excellent play, good screening, and a great seal inside. She was wide open for days, and that's why she got the 3-second call.
Remember, she is a netballer converting to basketball. No rules about being in that circle.
Yeah.
Graham let the three fly, couldn't get it in. And O'Connell called for the foul.
Yeah, she came flying out of nowhere to get that rebound. Just took a little bit of a bump and got the foul called against her. But the beautiful thing about Rapid League is it's next to impossible to foul out.
Mason at the top of the arc, gives it to Graham. Pick and roll. Oh, it bounces off the rim on the pass back on the inside. So Millie Simpson, 15 seconds on the shot clock, gives it back out to Mitchell. O'Connell to Simpson. No one really deciding what they're going to do on offense.
I mean, there's a lot of movement from the Hoiho, but just not a lot of effective plays. You know, they're moving a lot. They're wreaking havoc on the defense. Oh, and what a nice drive from Grace Hunter. Again, just slicing through that defense. Too easy of a finish. But again, you watch the Hoiho, they're moving a lot. They're setting screens. And they're keeping the defense occupied, but then they're just not, they don't have that attacking person right now willing to take it up strong. Oh, what a move, a great pivot, and a great finish from Gracie Roberts-Hare.
Beautiful from Roberts-Hare as the game clock is about to expire, and they really needed those points because the Tokomanawa Queens have come back at them, but it's still a 3-point lead to the Hoiho after the third quarter. 4 minutes remaining in the Sky Broadband Rapid League match. And you're right, this the Hoiho, their attack end is starting to become disjointed. Just no one really standing up and directing the play.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job. They're running their sets, But you don't want to get stuck in the mindset that, oh, this is the play, I've got to run this play. You want to be able to play out of your sets. So you look for those opportunities, those drives, and you try to capitalize on them. Just like the Queens are doing. They don't look like they're running too much of an organized set, but they're always cutting to the basket. They're always trying to find the drive. And when they get open, they take it up and take it up strong. So that being said, they're still down by 3. So the Hoiho doing a great job holding them off, but 3-point lead isn't much in the Rapid League because, like we say, it's only 4 minutes, and a lot can happen in 4 minutes. So for the Hoiho to keep this lead, they have got to be strong on D and try to convert some of these turnovers from the Queens into some points.
Field goal percentage for both teams rather low, 26% for the Hoiho and 28% for the Queens. Got to start to think that maybe points in the paint might be the best option with 4 minutes to go and with how vital these points are.
Yeah, I mean, the Queens are normally shooting 45% from the field, so that's quite a staggering statistic for them tonight.
Hoiho through O'Connell. Gets the ball out to Millie. And it's all really messy, and it's exactly how they ended the third quarter.
Yeah, it's just they had a lot more time there. I think it was just a rushed pass, and both girls not knowing where they were going on offense, and then a miscommunication on who's going to take that pass. And in these situations, you have to be assertive. Like, that's mine. I got it. Get out. Okay, but it's just a little bit of a rush and crisscross on offense, and that's a costly turnover for the Hoiho.
Hunter tries to cross up their opposite. Sopoaga getting swarmed on defense while Sopoaga gets it away to Mason. Pass to Langton. Langton couldn't convert. Well, she hasn't done too much wrong in this game, but just couldn't finish that one.
Yeah, exactly. Going to her left, she's always going to go to her left. So if you're the Hoiho, try to take away her left hand and make her do something with her right, because everything that she's done has been on the left-hand side.
7 seconds left on the shot clock. Here goes Brittany Richards, turns around. Couldn't quite get the hook shot in.
The look was there, the move was there. She set it up well, just couldn't get the finish. Again, Hoiho, another empty possession for them. And these empty possessions, if they start to accumulate, it starts to affect you on mentally when you're missing the shots, and as a team, you just really want to get some points on the board. As Gracie Roberts-Hare called for the reach there. And see if the Hoiho can lock up defensively and try to keep the Queens from scoring this possession. If the Queens score this possession, we've got ourselves a game.
Well, the Hoiho outscored the Queens 10 points to 4 in the first quarter. The second quarter was 5-2 to the Queens, and then the third was 4-all. So that first quarter was very impressive for the Hoiho.
And the Queens, they're averaging almost 31 points per game in Rapid League, as opposed to 21 for the Hoiho. So the Hoiho pretty much on par with what their standards are, but the Queens definitely playing slightly below what they're used to.
Good vision from Sopoaga to get the ball out to Langton. Graham. Oh, the pass was on, but it just went straight through the hands.
Yeah, it was there. That was a brilliant look, and that would have been a great finish. But again, unable to capitalize on it, and some more costly turnovers for the Queens. They've turned the ball over 10 times this game.
Roberts here gets the pass to Mitchell. Mitchell looking for an option. The hustle coming in from Graham. Millie Simpson gets it to Roberts here again. And plenty of passing going on, but not a lot of driving. And then Mitchell decides to do it. And then Truesdale, while you can see that she contacted her, because you can see her arm got all mixed up with her opposite.
Good job by Ivamy to take that contact. Finds herself at the TAB, but you said it best. Although when you started saying it, someone actually drove. They're doing a lot of passing going on the outside perimeter. But again, it's those drives to the paint that are going to be deadly against this defense. So they have to keep driving, keep looking for those open lanes.
unsuccessful at the Terby strike for Natalie Ivamy. And to be fair, she was a late call-in after Sophie Adams was ruled out.
Oh, and that and one finish. Excellent drive. She is so great, Grace Hunter, driving to the lane. Just that easy step through with the left-hand finish. And she has a chance for a 3-point play to tie this game with 2 minutes left. In this Rapid League, she's averaging about 4.8 points a game, 1 assist, nearly 2 rebounds, almost a block and almost a steal. So she's got her fingerprints everywhere.
Well, it's a tie game here in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. And then some miscommunication again on attack from the Hoiho. So the Queens now looking to have a bit of a spring in their step. Hunter to Truesdale to Langton. Mason, this time she drives. And the pocket is picked as well by Roberts here. She's been good on defense.
Yeah, she has been great for the Hoiho tonight, but I think Paris Mason might have got away with a couple of steps at the top of the key. You'll see here, yeah, definitely a travel at the top, but it was hard to see because there were quick steps, but she didn't necessarily designate a pivot foot, and she had double pivot foots, got away with it, got the ball back.
Hunter for 3. There's a whistle.
Is that on the shot?
Must be.
Wow.
So we're going to the TV. Strike for 3 here. And this is a big call because this could determine the game. We see how few and far in between points are.
Yeah, exactly. It is a 3-point play. At this stage in the game, that's not the foul you want to give up. You've allowed them to come back into this game, and then on a shot that she was going to miss, you give her a chance to redeem herself at the free throw line. And she's 2 for 2 now. Grace Hunter stepping up massively in this 4th quarter. She's been solid the whole game, but putting the team on her back in this 4th quarter.
She just capitalized on all 3 of those points too. So for the first time in the game, the Tokomanawa Queens are leading. And heartbreak as well for the Hoiho because they've been at the top the entire time. Roberts here gives the ball to Mitchell. Ivamy. Roberts here now with some handles, kicks the ball out to Mitchell. Can she bank the 3? She does. Tie game. Second one.
High arcing 3 of Tyler Mitchell to keep the Hoiho alive in this game. And a great backdoor cut from Tegan Graham. Excellent ball movement from the Queens. And in the corner, another answer back. Was that Grace Hunter?
Latava Kenny, the Fijian international.
What a clutch shot.
So can the Hoiho answer back? They need a 3-point here. Roberts here getting hustled by Hunter. They're going to drive in for points in the paint, and it's blocked as well by Graham.
Big time defense from Tegan Graham. We see this from her all season long, especially in the Tauihi games. She's so solid on D. As you see, driving to the hoop, she just maintains enough distance to get that block. And the Hoiho, a well-deserved player timeout. They're down by 3. 4.4 seconds left on the shot clock. 36 seconds left in the game. Still plenty of time to make something happen.
Accuracy really important right now if they're wanting to draw level.
They can go for a 2 here and then go for a steal.
That's exactly what they're going to do, but Richards can't convert, and they don't get the ball back either.
Nope, you've got to stay up. You have to full court press at this point. There's still a 10-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, so time is on the side of the Queens. However, there's still a chance for the Hoiho to come back, and if they get a stop here, they'll have a much better chance than if they let them burn, again, 20 seconds off the clock. Oh, and right into the face.
He's just losing the handles
Mitchell.
there. Yeah, Graham just lost her handles, and as you said, right into the face of Mitchell for three. Bounces away. And they will get one opportunity again, the Hoiho.
Again, great job sticking on that play. Looked good on that three-point shot, but power to the Hoiho for sticking there, getting that ball back, and giving themselves another chance. Still 2 seconds difference on the shot clock. In this situation, you either want to get a quick shot and then try to get another steal, or burn the clock and try to get the last second shot to not give the Queens a chance to win the game. If I were the coach, I would want to get a quick either 2 or 3 and then try to get the steal.
So Millie Simpson looks to inbound, finds Mitchell. She's had a great game for the Hoiho, getting pressured on defense. Wide open three, can't convert, ball bounces fortuitously. And that could just do it for the Tokomanawa Queens, the Hoiho.
You got a foul.
Well, they got off to such a good start, did the Hoiho. They've only one win in this competition, but it wasn't to be tonight. As the Tokomanawa Queens get the win at 22 points to 19 here in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Don't go anywhere, because coming right up after this, we've got the Ansgo Tokomanawa Queens and the Southern Hoiho taking on each other in the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi Basketball League.
Broadband sells the thing that you and pizza. Sky Sport, the home of sport. TAP, Bargain Point, Molten, New Balance, R-Line, and Sky City.
koutou katoa e te whānau, nau mai haere mai ki o te poti Dunedin. Welcome into Dunedin's Edgar Centre, where it's the top of the table clash in the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi Basketball League between the Southern Hoiho and the ANZCO Tokomanawa Queens. Tokomanawa Queens, the reigning champions from last year, but have unable to beat the Southern Hoiho this year at all. Last time these two teams played, the Hoiho went on a 27-point scoring streak. I'm Taylor Johnson. Joining me for this game is Kaysen Bookman. And Kaysen, we've seen two really good games between these two. What can we expect from this one?
Well, I mean, the Queens have something to prove here. They have been unsuccessful against the Hoiho, but the Hoiho, they've just been dog fighting, you know. They were down and then they came back. They had 27 straight points, like you said, and they got a massive win against this Queens team the last time they matched up.
Here is the ladder as well, as I said, a top of the table clash, the Hoiho in second, the Queens in first, and it could have looked quite different, but after the Rapid League game, the Tokomanawa Queens extended by one more point, so they're now on 18 points after their Rapid League team got a 22 points to 19 win over the Hoiho, who've only just won one game, as you can see there, and it just goes to show how important the Sky Broadband Rapid League is.
But how massive would this game be for the Queens? If they can pull out this win, they can extend their lead at the top of the ladder, which would be massive for them.
Still plenty more games to come in round 6, the first of the games, and then the 5 will host the Northern Kahu. Tokomanawa Queens will go again on Friday night, this time at home against the Mainland Pokai. The Mainland Pokai will back it up on Sunday, hosting the Northern Kahu. 2 games on the road for the Kahu this week. Pretty tasty matchups considering the Whai, well, they played really well against the Hoiho last game as well, so in for a treat. But let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting team, the ANZCO Tokomanawa Queens. Carr, Beck, Watts, Lokotui and Dodson, and it's a very familiar looking lineup for us. And I mean, I always ask you each time who's been impressing you, but everyone's been impressive. Honestly,
the imports have been impressive. Obviously, they're doing what they were brought in to do, but the introduction of Stella back into the lineup has been another asset for this Queens team. They're just getting deeper and deeper, and again, Lokotui doing big things in the games. Defensively, she is a rock, and I'll put her up against anybody. She can guard anybody in this league. I love her defense.
Well, their head coach is Tanya Tutu, and we caught up with her just moments ago.
We've got Tanya Tupu here with us, and the Hoiho have had your number so far this season. What have you taken from those losses, and what do you need to improve on tonight?
Well, we didn't really shoot the ball very well last time we were here, so we need to put more pressure on getting to the rim, so we're not counting on or banking on our 3.
And of course, Ashton Pritchell is in great form for the Hoiho. Who gets the job of slowing her down tonight?
I think everyone's going to have a shot at her. We maybe throw in some doubling, or I don't know. She's fantastic, and she's a great asset to the league. So, you know, everyone wants to have a shot at her tonight, and I think if we can keep her quiet or contained, we might have a chance.
Cool. All the best for tonight.
I love that. Everyone is going to have a shot at Ashton Pritchell. We might see her get double teamed as well, but there she is starting in the 10 jersey. Bradley, Gallagher, Hurst and Richards, and there was some questions around whether Hurst would play, but she's there in that starting 5, and what can we expect from this Hoiho team?
I mean, it's a full roster, both teams, full health. Well, nearly full health, as obviously Elise Hurst suffered a bit of an ankle injury in the last game, so proud of her for stepping up tonight and being a part of this starting lineup. Again, I called it from the beginning. I said she was going to be the dark horse in this league, and she's done a pretty great job of holding me to my words, and obviously the combo of Richards and Pritchell has been a great dynamic duo. And then Bradley obviously dishing the ball extremely well. She's had multiple games of 10 or more assists, and obviously Samara Gallagher, she is the heart and soul of this team, and she does an excellent job crashing the boards and giving them those second, third, fourth chance opportunities in the game.
The head coach is Todd Marshall. Let's hear what he had to say ahead of this matchup.
We're with Todd Marshall, and Todd, a chance tonight for the Hoiho to sweep the Queens this season. What do you need to do well to make it a perfect 3 from 3 against the 2022 champs?
Got to play a lot better than what we have in the last 2 weeks defensively, and we've got to find a way of getting more of our team involved in our offence. So they're our main keys.
And of course, Crystal Carr's speed is causing opposition teams some headaches. Who gets the job tonight on slowing her down?
Well, Paige Bradley will match up against her, but one person can't look after Crislin. She's got some good skills. So we've got some concepts and things we've been working on as a team for on-ball screens, and trying to keep her out of the paint is where she's been most effective. So we'll just see what happens.
Cool. All the best for tonight.
Thank you.
Imports from both teams being recognised as key players, but let's look at some key matchups thanks to the TAB, and look at this head-to-head cases.
Yeah, obviously the Queens do a great job getting points on the board, averaging 81 points a game compared to 71 for the Hoiho. Offensive rebounds, Hoiho, again, part of that's off the back of Gallagher and Prechtel crashing those offensive boards. And then field goal percentage, Queens have a bit of an edge, and that's off the back of Christian Carr, who's doing such a phenomenal job with that pull-up jumper, getting the defender on the skates and then pulling up in their face. Doesn't matter who's in front of her. It could be the tallest person on the floor or the shortest. She's going to knock it down right in your face. So tough assignments on both sides.
Referees Harry Apes, Regan Ashley and Britt Young for this clash in the GJ Gardner Home Tauihi Basketball League. Remember, we just watched the Sky Broadband Rapid League that kicked off at 6:30, and it was the Queens who got up 22 points to 19 after the Hoiho had a fantastic start with 10 points in the first quarter. But now we turn our attention to the Tauihi Basketball League, and as we've mentioned twice and in the interviews, the Queens have not beaten the Hoiho this season. And well, the Hoiho, though, they are coming off the back of two heavy losses. The first two, the mainland Poakai, 61-point loss. Sorry, they only scored 61 points, should I say.
That would have been pretty brutal. But again, it's a mental battle both sides, because you've got the Hoiho, who are coming off of a 2-game losing streak, versus the Queens, who've got the mental battle of, man, we haven't beat this team in the 2 times that we've met up. What are we going to do? How are we going to beat them tonight?
Well, the tip-off was between Dodson and Prechtel, and those two are going to be probably the juiciest matchup on court tonight, as it's the Hoiho with first possession in an early drive. Doesn't find the rim, though.
Great drive there by Gallagher. Wide open lane. Gotta finish those. You gotta capitalize on those open shots, because they're not going to come very frequently.
Dodson, one-on-one with Prechtel. This is the first battle between them. Prechtel managing just to disrupt there.
Nicely done there by Stella Beck to weasel her way in front of Prechtel to try to get that offensive rebound. And again, Prechtel doing a great job holding her ground against Maya Dodson. Again, you said it was going to be a battle to watch tonight.
Paige Bradley gets it away to Hurst outside the 3. Bounces around the rim, not successful. And an early foul against Prechtel. You don't want that.
No, you definitely don't want that. I think it actually might have been on... Oh, it was on Prechtel, yeah. So you definitely don't want her in early foul trouble. But the beautiful thing about this league is that you get 6 personal fouls instead of 5.
Carr, the danger woman. Well, one of many, actually, for the Queens. Dodson gets it to Lokotui, such a strong body under the rim. Back out to Carr. Going toe-to-toe with Bradley. Pops the pass over, but it's read brilliantly from Gallagher, so they'll go quickly. Bradley kicks it out to Hurst, decides to drive. Pulls up for the floater, couldn't get there. The rebound is there, and they're the best offensive rebounders in the league. You can see why. As Prechtel for the 3. That bounces off the rim. Again, another look at opportunity. Second chance points, but not converting for the Hoiho. They'll be disappointed, so still no one yet to register any points. As Carr is unsuccessful. Lokotui under the rim. Gets it away to Dodson. Back to Carr. Frantic stuff. It opens up in the middle of the court. And finally, Carr gets some points on the board.
Textbook stuff from Crystal Carr, driving into the lane, getting that soft floater, a shot that she surely mastered as Gallagher tries to back down Stella Beck unsuccessfully, and the Queens are pushing the pace in the other direction.
Steph Watts gets it away to Dodson, who finds Lokotui, who haphazardly puts it up.
Yeah, I don't think she was expecting that pass, but good job finishing. Again, the Queens up 4-0 at the moment. Hoiho having plenty of opportunities to get the score. but just not managing to find the bottom of the net as Gallagher takes the three. And I'll eat my words. What a beautiful shot. Great offensive set from the Hoiho.
I love the fadeaway too. It was so beautiful to watch from Gallagher, the veteran. And good rebound coming in from Beck, just flirting with out of bounds. As Watts looks at her options, Lokatui sets the screen. Hurst, good tip there from the Hoiho, and well, it again opened up for Lokatui.
Yeah, I think
was kind of looking around.
Yeah, Prechtel thought she traveled on that play, but I thought it looked pretty clean. Excellent recognition there from Lokatui.
Bradley gets it to Richards, back into the hands of Gallagher. Running out of options, Hurst fires it to Bradley for three. One beautiful one-armed rebound there from Dodson, just reeled it in.
Yeah, you got to do that against Zoe Richards because she is crashing every offensive rebound. And a nice forced turnover there from Samara Gallagher on the sideline. I think Paris Lokatui just stepped out of bounds. So the Hoiho again with another chance here. Try to capitalize on this turnover. And they've done, I'm really loving their energy on the offensive glass. Yeah, the shots aren't falling, but every single one of them is inside trying to grab those rebounds.
Bradley drives and gets the foul, and it will be a three-point play.
Now that's something that you need to do when you've got Chrislyn Carr on you, just like Paige did there. She's driving her to the basket, and you got to make her work on defense so she doesn't have as much energy on offense. Yes, she is tiny and mighty and probably never runs out of energy, but as much as she's putting the pressure on the defense, you have to return the favor and get her legs going and try to wear her down.
Oh, I thought that shot had gone in, but it didn't, so it's two shots at the TAB. I thought that went in.
Did we both blink at the wrong time? I thought that was in too.
And it's another turnover this time. And I think it's Lokatui.
Yep, I think she got called for a blocking foul. Might have been shifting her feet a bit on that screen. Something that has been a point of emphasis this season.
Bradley to Prechtel at the top of the arc. Gallagher, man, she's been busy tonight. And I think they've got a foul going the other way once more on offense.
Yeah, and it's against Prechtel again. So within 4 minutes, she's gathered 2 fouls, no points. And be interesting to see if she stays on the floor for the remainder of this quarter.
Dodson to Carr. Carr currently sitting second in the league MVP rankings. Right in behind her is Prechtel. Lokatui to Dodson. Dodson fakes the left, drives, and that is pretty to watch.
That is a beautiful play there. Excellent passing from the Queens to find Dodson at the top of the key. And Dodson, a great pump fake, drive to the basket. When you know Prechtel is in foul trouble, that's exactly what you've got to do. You've got to drive it into her and try to get her out of this game. And Elise Hurst is not hesitating at all whatsoever, looking confident as ever on a gimpy ankle, to say the least.
What I do love, though, was the sportsmanship shown there by Watts and Carr. As soon as she hit the deck, they went and helped her straight back up. And her first shot is successful as well. Hurst, as we said, was questionable with an ankle injury, but she looks the goods at the moment, as you just mentioned, not hesitant at all.
And that's really great when you come back from an ankle injury to be able to step back into the starting lineup. So obviously it wasn't as bad as everyone thought, which is great. We never want to see injuries on the floor.
Not at all, as Bradley gets the rebound, but jeepers, Carr brought that ball up so quickly. Gallagher couldn't bank that three. So Watts gets around her opposite. Hits the deck, slow to get up.
Looked a little bit like she was trying to sell a foul there after that missed attempt. I don't mind that, because she did take a body.
Bradley with the ball.
Jen O'Connell hits the deck hard. Well done on that screen. Stella Beck just says nope, shoves it right over and gets the foul called against her.
Well, Jen O'Connell has stuck onto the court, and you'd have to think it is for Prickdale. Yeah, as we said, early foul trouble. She's got 2 within 4 minutes.
Jen O'Connell racked up 8 minutes, 20 seconds in the Rapid League game. So hopefully those minutes weren't too heavy on the legs.
She was playing with a lot more confidence as well in that Rapid League game from her earlier ones too. Wasn't afraid to drive across the key.
Yeah, not at all. And they were using her, and she was facilitating a lot of the offense. The ball was going into her. I would have liked to see her drive a little bit more, try to get some more shots for herself, but she was always looking to pass the ball. As she gets the steal, speak of the devil, gets the steal on defense, and Gallagher's off to the races against Dotson. Dotson, great defense, but Jen O'Connell cleans it up with the netball shot, couldn't bank it in, and Dotson gets the final rebound.
Helter Skelter stuff under the rim at that end. O'Connell really trying to make her presence felt this time though. Truesdale converts, so 10 points to 7, the Queens leading. Gallagher again, she's been so busy in this opening 6 minutes.
Oh, she is a workhorse. She does the 1% things that not a lot of people enjoy doing, crashing the offensive boards. It's exhausting, and then if you don't get the rebound, just like Zoe Richards did, you've got to rush back on defense. Yeah, reward her for that hustle play, just can't get the 3 to finish.
Man, talk about hustle. That is exactly what the Hoiho were doing. Oh, brilliant handles coming in from Carr under the legs, and they just made the layup look so easy. And they call a timeout now, do the Hoiho.
She is so shifty with the ball. You cannot sleep on her. You can't have your heels on the ground. Must always be on your toes, because she is going to hesitate, pull up. You can't predict what she's going to do. So you have to stay grounded. You just got to keep yourself centered and hope she doesn't take your ankles.
Join the TAB, deposit $10 and get a free $50 bonus bet. Well, if you were betting on the last game, you would have been a happy person if you were with the Hoiho, because they were trailing by a decent amount, and then 27 unanswered points they scored to get the win. The score there was 77-60 in the end.
Yeah, so a 5-point deficit is nothing to this Hoiho squad. Can never count them out. They hustle hard. Doesn't matter how many shots they miss. I'm sure their field goal percentage at the moment is not that flash. Speaking of, it is a whopping 6%. They are 1 for 15 from the field. From three-point land, they are 1 from 8, as opposed to 50% field goal percentage for the Queens, shooting 6 for 10 from the 2-point range. They haven't nailed a 3 yet, but again, those are some horrendous numbers for the Hoiho. However, offensive rebounds, they have 5.
Crazy, 6%. Jen O'Connell right under the rim. She hesitated and then allowed the defense to get there, bats the ball back, almost a backcourt. Zoe Richards there. And then looking to put up a 3 was Bradley, and then my goodness, bodies on the floor. They're really fighting for those rebounds. Hurst. Oh, just bubbles in and out. That is so frustrating.
I think Richards has hit the deck about 6 times in 5 minutes. She is relentless. There's not much to her, but golly, she's got some fight and some heart, and she is going after every single offensive rebound. I love this from Zoe Richards. She is a fierce competitor, and she has shown it this season so far.
Well, Zoe Richards, that is someone you want to get shooting some shots. She is 3rd in the league for field goal percentage, 51.9%. It's also so good to see some of the locals coming back and playing for the area they went to school in, which is St. Hilda's. Obviously a tall firm, made her debut back in 2019 and the handles of Carr, but the block as well from Richards, and oh, unfortunately, just dribbling the ball over the sideline.
I need to see that replay, because she took 6 ankles on that one crossover. Everyone thought she was going left, and then she shifted back to the right. Unbelievable stuff from Carr.
Brilliant block as well from Richards. Just ruined Carr's highlight reel with that one.
Yeah.
It would have been a nicey one to put up online. It's Graham. Back to Carr. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Truesdell.
Oh, with the and one. What a job by Josie Truesdell, posting up inside against the Hoiho. And an excellent finish. Got the and one and found herself at the TAB.
Foul goes against Tyler Mitchell, and she played so well in that Rapid League game as well. Got a couple of high arcing three-pointers.
Yeah, space three-pointers. They were the highest three-pointers I've ever seen, but they were efficient.
Richards, well, she loses the handles, then diving on it is Graham, and it's all over the show. Plenty of bodies on the ground in the opening quarter of this game. As Carr, well, she'll go quickly. Oh, Bradley thought she had picked the pocket, but it wasn't to be.
Picking the pocket of Carr is not easy to do, and it usually ends up in a foul because she protects that ball extremely well. So Bradley called for the foul there. But that's what you have to do against a player like Carr. You have to be up in her grill. You cannot allow her to have easy dribbles around the perimeter.
Graham. This time it's Watts, Steph Watts. So she's also got beautiful footwork and handles, but the rebound falls in the hands of Hurst. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bradley looking for some options. Zoe Richards is there, gets it back out to Richards. She decides to drive into the paint. And that's the kind of points they just need to start banking. They can't let the Queens get away from them.
Yeah, exactly right. That was a smart play from Zoe Richards. She knows the shots aren't really falling tonight, and she takes it amongst herself to drive it to the hoop and get the easy two.
She got a hand to that as well, forcing the steal and then forcing a trip to the TAB stripe was Hurst.
Great job from Hurst. Again, recognizing a little bit of a mismatch between her and Tegan Graham. Probably has a little bit more foot speed on her. Took her to the hoop, and now she's sitting at the TAB. As you see, Prechtel is finding herself on the bench with 2 early fouls in this quarter.
Well, let's talk about Prechtel because she leads the league in rebounds. She averages 15.8 a game, leads the league in blocks with 3.8, is third in steals with 1.8, and 5th in points per game with 18.5. She is having some season, and no doubt you will see her at the top 4 because this Hoiho team, if they can continue to play the way they do when she is on the court, booking themselves a spot here. So get your phones out and scan that QR code. Get to Porirua.
Yeah, exactly right. If you're going to win against this Hoiho team, that's who you want on the bench. If she's on the floor, she's going to facilitate, and she is going to be a problem for anyone on the opposing team. So they've done a great job scouting this so far, keeping Prechtel on the bench and out of the game, giving themselves a little bit of a cushion, 5-point cushion. But as you said earlier, they had a 27-point cushion the last time, and the Hoiho came back and scored 27 in a row. Got the win.
Hurst successful with the first attempt. Out of Bendigo, Australia, she has been very impressive. In fact, all the imports that have come across have been impressive, including this one here, Kristen Carr. Hunter is onto the court as well. Another tall fern to bring off the bench. What a luxury, as is Mason. And then just a disconnection between the two Parises.
Great disruption there by Tyler Mitchell. She was getting backdoor cut from Paris Lokatui, and she kept a hand in there and was able to get that turnover.
Lovely Euro step coming in from Bradley. As you can see, the pace that Carr just runs up the court. So hard to keep up with her.
Imagine a team full of cars. You would just be sprinting the entire game.
Mason has Richards on her, decides against putting up the shot. Hunter with a deep three. Unsuccessful, but Lokatui was there, gets it to Mason. And someone's caused a foul in there and all that mess.
I think it was Hurst on that one. They were going for the 50-50 ball, and Elise Hurst was just a little bit too strong. Knocked Paris Mason off. And she will find herself at the TAB.
It's a 1-point ball game here in the first quarter, 15 points to 14 as Paris Mason has her first attempt at a free throw, unsuccessful. Paris Mason.
She's been struggling from the line a bit this year, so it's good to see her knock those two down. Be a bit of a confidence boost for her.
Gallagher back onto the court, back to Richards. Richards decides to drive and goes one-on-one and gets it over the top. No call there either, looked at the ref. So 16 all, 35 seconds left in the quarter. Graham to Mason. Back to Carr. Can't give her some space, Carr. Lokotui with some footwork, goes for the drive and gets the foul as well. That goes against Tyler Mitchell, her second foul.
That looks pretty clean from my angle. She had her hands up the whole time. She might have given her a little bit of a hip check at the end. Great job by Paris Lokotui to take that ball in against Tyler Mitchell as she knocks the first one down. Lokotui shooting 56% from the line this season. As you see there, 1 for 2, pretty accurate.
Richards, no shot clock, 13 seconds left on the game clock. Lots of movement. Bradley looked at her options and just knocking the ball away was Hunter. They'll get the ball back with 4 seconds to go.
Be interesting to see. They're not going to hopefully use their player timeout. No need for a player timeout. They've already advanced the ball. They just got to set up out of this out of bounds play.
Brittany Richards, twin sister of Zoe, onto the court. Bradley, well, she's got a couple seconds to put the shot up. Can she nail it? No, it's way to the left.
That would have been a really nice play there from Paige Bradley with the behind the back step back, but unsuccessful on that attempt.
So after the first quarter, after the Tokomanawa Queens got off to a flying start, the Hoiho came back, so it is 17 points to 16. Don't go anywhere, the second quarter is coming up after this.
And we're going to take it here with the DJ Gardner home halfway, grab the ball around, go back and make the shot.
No, my hoki mai, welcome back to the Edgar Centre in Dunedin for the DJ Gardner Homes Tauihi basketball game between the Ansco Tokomanawa Queens and the Southern Hoiho. And grab a pizza while you're at it and continue watching this game because it is sure to be a nail-biter after the other two we've had between these two sides. Write down that code as well, and it's valid until Wednesday. Next week, Wednesday. So here goes Steph Watts losing the handle. I think someone got a hand to it. And so the Hoiho will inbound the ball and they'll want to get off to a good start because they got off to a slow start in that first quarter.
Absolutely right. They weren't hitting their shots at all, to be honest, in the first few minutes of that quarter. They were 1 for 15 at one stage. They've increased their percentage now to 18, but that's still a long shot off the Queens 43%. But with Prechtel back in the game, that percentage is sure to go up as she asserts her dominance straight away. 40 seconds into the game. Welcome back to the quarter, Ashton Prechtel.
Prechtel with 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes of the game, so took a seat on the bench just for a while. And then again, Prechtel making an impact straight away. Bradley is there, gives it out to Richards. Richards finds Prechtel and then kicks it out to Gallagher.
Oh, that's beautiful basketball. Way to share the ball. Prechtel realized she had Dotson on her back and then just found Gallagher wide open in the corner. And Gallagher, way to knock that shot down.
Well, Tanya Tupu did say that. They said they were going to tag team her, and so she looked for who was unmarked, and it was Gallagher in the corner as Watts weaves her way around some defenders. Carr pulls up for a deep 2 and knocks it down, drains the 2-pointer.
Hand in her face, ice in her veins. She can knock down a 2-point shot as Prechtel fires it from 3. And again, instantaneous impact in this game. Prechtel has been involved in all 3 offensive possessions for the Hoiho so far.
And the thing is she's recorded a double-double in 6 of the 7 games that she's played. And on 4 occasions got 20 or more rebounds, as we see another brilliant shot, but probably has that in her mind, thinking, hey, I've missed out on almost a whole quarter. I need to get my stats up.
Oh, exactly. She's going to be looking to make that impact just as she's done so far. But she's a great facilitator as well. You know, she has about 3, almost 4 assists per game.
She's very well-rounded, is Prechtel.
I think Zoe Richards has spent more time on the floor this game than she has on her own 2 feet. With 3.6 left on the shot clock, Hoiho need to come up with something here. And that's going to be a foul on Maya Dotson. Oh, Paris Lokatui.
She's picked up a couple, has Lokatui. I wouldn't be surprised if she takes a seat on the bench.
Well, she's got a tough assignment. Like you talked about earlier, she's such a strong body, and she can guard anybody. It doesn't matter the height difference, whatnot. She can use her physicality to push out those posts. Unfortunately, on that last play, she put this woman at the line who nailed 2 free throws. And again, she's such an impactful player, Ashton Prechtel.
Well, she got 26 points and 20 rebounds in the last game against the Bite. Quite a remarkable player is Beck. Back on court, Dodson to Watts. Lokatui with the ball. Just looking for an option here. Carr decides to go herself back to Lokatui. She goes for the 3 outside the arc, bounces up. Prechtel almost had the rebound, but just got in a mix-up with Bradley.
Yeah, she was right over the top of Bradley. Oh, and they ended up getting the ball back. That's a questionable tip out of bounds, but I'm sure the Hoiho are excited about it, as I'm almost 100% confident that was off of Ashton Prechtel.
Bradley to Hurst in the hot pink shoes. Bradley getting some pressure from Beck. Pulls up for a mid-range shot and knocks it down.
It just seems the confidence of the Hoiho is far superior when Ashton Prechtel is on the floor. Paige Bradley stepping into that shot and knocking it down, whereas in the first quarter, when Prechtel was out of the game, shots were not falling.
I think they shoot with a lot more confidence too, knowing Prechtel's there to crash the boards.
She'll clean up their misses.
Exactly. But you're right, they just play with a little bit more confidence when she's there, because no, she's not the point guard, but she is there commanding, and as you say, her distribution is phenomenal as well.
Yeah, she's so great on the floor. Oh, and with a step through, Lokatui doesn't get it to fall, but Maya Dotson cleans up the rebound. And the baby jump hook, unsuccessful, and Zoe Richards is gonna push the pace.
This time it's Gallagher to Prechtel. Watts giving her some trouble and gets out of it. Just made that look like there was no pressure on her.
No, and it's the length that she has. Like, Steph Watts is a pretty lengthy player, but the sheer size of Prechtel, all she had to do was get it slightly out of her hands, and then it was out of her reach.
Dodson gets it to Beck. Beck inside the paint. It's a nice 2-point shot.
Yeah, nice little floater from Stella Beck.
Richards to Prickdale. Prickdale steps back, decides against the 3, gives it to Bradley. Oh, beautiful find. She couldn't finish it though. Hits the deck. And Maya Dodson not happy about that foul call.
Prickdale set that up beautifully. I hope we get to see the replay because she did a slight change of pace. We just missed it. But right before that cut, she stood up and got the defense to fall asleep and then just quickly changed pace. And they knocked down a 3-pointer. But again, she set that cut up beautifully. And just like that, the Hoiho have a 10-point lead over the Queens. And we talked about the impact of Prickdale. It's in the stats, you know? At the end of the first quarter, without her presence, the Hoiho were down 17-16. And in this quarter alone, they've outscored the Queens 14-6. And Ashton Prickdale has gathered 9 points thus far. As well as Samara Gallagher, she's got 9. Zoe Richards has 4. Paige Bradley has 7. You know, they're just a full team now with her back on the floor. Rebounding wise, she's got only 1 rebound so far. Zoe Richards has 8.
She's been phenomenal, Zoe Richards. She has made a menace of herself on attack, on offense and defense.
She has 5 offensive rebounds. 5 of her 8. Now that sounds a little bit like Maya Dotson's last game, where she collected 10 offensive rebounds and 0 defensive, which is pretty unheard of to get that many offensive rebounds and no defensive rebounds. So again, Zoe Richards creating so much for the Hoiho on offense, sacrificing her body as we've seen on the offensive rebounds.
Well, both of these teams average 40 rebounds a game, first equal. As Dodson with a long-range shot for her standards. Bradley has the ball after a rebound from Prickdale, and again we see that combination working so well.
Yeah, I mean, it even caught her off guard, but Prickdale's hands are so soft that the ball just stayed right in between her fingertips.
Dodson looking for some options. Beck to Carr. Carr and Bradley has been a good matchup this evening, should I say. Graham with 4 seconds left on the shot clock, well short. Richards to Gallagher, then back to Bradley. And what a strong starting lineup they have out there on the court right now, the Hoiho. Just looking for someone to stand up, and Prickdale does that exactly.
Unbelievable
Just turns
work.
and shoots.
Unbelievable work. I mean, she's got so much length, and why not?
And Carr replies, drains the 2.
She is money from 15-foot range. I would never want to play her in horse when it came to 2-pointers. No chance. And Zoe Richards gets open on the cut with the easy finish on the left-hand side. And again, that brings her up to 6 points.
And you can understand why Paige Bradley is #1 for assists per game with 7.5, because her distribution is outstanding. And again, it's just not falling for the Queens at the moment.
And I think that it's a bit of a mental battle at the moment. Maya Dodson taking shots that she usually shouldn't be taking. She needs to be driving it against Prickdale, who's in foul trouble, but the sheer presence of Prickdale is forcing her to shoot the ball from outside.
Well, Prickdale has 2 shots from outside the arc, and another offensive rebound from Bradley.
Oh,
good block coming in from behind from Beck.
and that's another foul on Bradley. I believe that's her 2nd or her 3rd. Or is that her 1st? My bad. I was sure she had a foul.
Little sneak attack from behind from Beck.
That's just a heads-up play. She recognized that they were in a bit of trouble, and she was in the right place at the right time. Was able to block that shot.
It's quite remarkable, really, the change in the second quarter, because the Hoiho trailed by 1 point at the first quarter. Now they lead by 15.
Yeah, it's a complete change around as Josie Truesdale knocks that shot down in the face of Zoe Richards. So a little bit of life here for the Queens.
Richards tries to go around Beck.
She just makes it look so funny. And like the way she throws her arms about, and the way, I mean, she falls on the ground all the time. Granted, it's her fighting for the boards. I wonder if her body is just completely covered in bruises after these games, because it's consistent. She does it every single game, but that's why she's averaging 7.5 rebounds and 15 points per game.
Bradley outside the arc. Doesn't get it to fall, but it is in the hands of Roberts here, and she was very good in the Rapid League game just before this. Hurst with the quick pass to Bradley. Less than 4 seconds on the shot clock. She needs to put it up. Does just that. Couldn't quite find her radar, though, so Carr will bring it up court.
Bradley's legs look a little bit heavy on her shots as the shots are falling short at the moment, but she continues to shoot them as Maya Dotson continues to settle for shots outside of the paint. She needs to be driving it into the body of Prechtel and trying to get her in foul trouble, but I don't know what it is about the size of Prechtel. But, oh, it's completely deterring them, but it is not deterring the Hoiho as Elise Hurst knocks down the 3 from deep.
At one point in the game, the Hoiho were at 6% field goal percentage. They've increased that now to 36% as we see Dodson with a more familiar shot, and they need to do more of that to the Queens.
Yeah, exactly right. She got the shot that she's comfortable with. She got it deep inside, and that's exactly what she needs to do.
Hurst pulls up for the 2.
Why not? Back-to-back buckets from Elise Hurst. She does not look like she's in any sort of pain with that ankle.
Well, if I was the Queens, I'd probably be calling a timeout soon, because at the moment the Hoiho are looking pretty hot.
And then just like that, Stella Beck gets the and 1 against Zoe Richards. I am enjoying this matchup between the two of them as they are battling back and forth and fouling each other. I am loving it. As you see, Josie, great recognition with the cross-court pass. Stella Beck with the drive. Zoe Richards with the help, obviously, because Prechtel didn't want to get a cheap 3rd foul. As we have seen in this second quarter, the Hoiho have completely turned it around. And now they're shooting 37% from the field. I mean, the only way to go was up from that first quarter performance, to be honest.
From 6%, yes.
Yeah, that was a bit wild.
1 from 15 or something like that. As we see back on court, Tyler Mitchell. Hurst getting hassled there by Watts, and we haven't really said Watts' name too much in this game. She's usually all over it.
Yeah, I mean, I think when she does have the ball in her hands, she's trying to do a little, oh, and Krista Carr just knocking down. Has she missed a shot yet? I don't believe so. She has been unbelievable in this first half, but like we said about Steph Watts, she loves that ISO game, but the help from the Hoiho is really shutting that off.
Roberts here drives, and then we've got Jen O'Connell on the floor as well.
Somehow she was called for the foul, and she's the one that ended up on the floor. And she must have taken a step on the offensive screen, which you cannot do. You have to, once you start that screen, you must set. You can't move, you can't, give a shoulder bob, hip bob, you can't take a step. Otherwise, the refs are going to call it. And it was right at the top of the key, so it was quite an easy call for the refs.
A lot of the Rapid League players have had some good minutes here for the Hoiho, as Dodson will just do the reverse layup. And Hurst now, 15 seconds left on the game clock, so no shot clock. And Carr trying to apply some defensive pressure to Hurst. No other options there. Richards. So Richards spins, gets it back out to Hurst, needs to fire it off. And probably a wasted play, you would say, for the Hoiho there.
It was great defense from the Queens to hold them to that shot. Not the shot that the Hoiho wanted, but a great way to finish out this second half. The Hoiho outscoring the Queens 29-20. A big change from the 16-17 scoring in the first quarter.
Well, after trailing by 1, you said it, they now lead the Tokomanawa Queens 45 points to 37 at the half here in the Tauihi Basketball League. you my welcome back to Ōtepoti Dunedin, where it is the home team, the Southern Hoiho, leading 45 points to 37 over the ANZCO Tokomanawa Queens, and it really was a game of two separate quarters really in that first half. It was the Hoiho trailing by 1 point to the Queens, and all of a sudden they had a 16-point lead. It has now been chopped down, but let's take a look at some of these stats as well from the game. I mean, one thing that's definitely improved was the shooting percentage. It was pretty low for the Hoiho, but Prechtel, she spent most of the first quarter on the bench, and look at that, already leading the points.
Yeah, I think she managed to scrape up 10 points in that quarter. Samara Gallagher doing great things. Again, I think she had 9 in the first quarter, so she was a bit scoreless in that second quarter, but again, well balanced. And rebound, Zoe Richards, she has been phenomenal for the Hoiho. Maya Dotson cleaning up the boards as well. Prechtel with 3, Bradley with 3, Lokatui with 4, Truesdale with 3, Grace Roberts-Hare 2, Watts 2, Jennifer O'Connell coming into the game, cleaning up the boards well. Stella Beck getting some boards as well. Paige Bradley with 7 assists. And it's just a testament to the comeback from the Hoiho. And she has been pivotal in that. The duo, the trio between her and Prechtel and Richards has been unbelievable in this first half. And blocks, as you see there, not too many for the Hoiho, but the Queens able to get a couple. And again, steals for the Hoiho. And hopefully in the second half, the Queens can take care of the ball a little bit better, as they had 8 turnovers. The Hoiho only managed 3. So great job from them. And the story of the Hoiho, they had a ton of offensive rebounds, 11 to be exact, but their second chance points do not tell the story. They only had 4 second chance points compared to 8 for the Queens. So Queens capitalizing on their second chance opportunities. And the Hoiho, if they can start doing that, this game might be totally in their favor.
Well, the Hoiho seemed to be the Achilles heel for the ANZCO Tokomanawa Queens. Remember, they lost the first game, the opening game of the competition, 75-82, and then 77-60. And again, the Hoiho have come from behind and currently lead at halftime, 45 points to 37. Don't go anywhere. The second half is coming up right after this. Welcome back to the Edgar Centre in Dunedin, where the Southern Hoiho lead the Tokomanawa Queens 45 points to 37, should I say. We've got the second half coming up for you. Strap yourselves in because it is going to be an absolute thriller. So good that I forgot how to speak English.
37, 32nd. I mean, it's basically the same. The story of the second quarter, though, was the Hoiho after the re-arrival of Ashton Prechtel after sitting on the bench for the majority of the first quarter in foul trouble with 2 early ones. And the second she came onto the floor, she got an easy bucket. The next play, she had an amazing assist. And the next play, she had a 3-pointer. So she has been impactful, to say the least. And again, the Hoiho, they shot pretty terribly in the first quarter, but they have made quite the comeback in the second. And their second chance opportunities are coming. They're gonna make some shots. They only had about 4 second chance points, but they had a ton of opportunity with 11 offensive rebounds. So if you're the Queens team, you've got to find a way to keep them off the boards, because once they get going, it's going to be really hard to shut them down. They're never going to stop crashing those offensive boards, so you have to take a little bit of pride, get the box out, and not allow them to grab those rebounds over the top of you.
And isn't it interesting that we haven't seen that many blocks this game? In fact, we've only seen 3, when you've got one of the best blockers, or 2 of the best blockers, Prechtel and Maya Dodson out there. And we mentioned earlier in that first half, Dodson just seems a lot more hesitant than she usually is, being matched up with Prechtel.
And that has been the story of the matchups, because I think she's being deterred obviously from her length and her size, but again, she's settling for those jumpers when she has the athleticism. I think she's got the quickness on Prechtel, and she needs to utilize that. If she just settles for those jumpers all day long, she's not going to get easy buckets, and that's going to start shattering her confidence little by little. Whereas Prechtel, she's going to shoot it from anywhere. She's not the back down player, body you up. She's the finesse, the soft hands, the shooter, you know. We saw a little bit of her handles in the full court as well. So if you're going to shut her down, you've got to get a hand in her face and make her post up inside. When she's on the perimeter, make her cut to the basket. I mean, she's great at cutting as well. It's a hard matchup, but you don't want her to get comfortable. You got to put a lot more pressure on her.
Such a phenomenal player is Ashton Prechtel. We're so lucky to have her playing down here in New Zealand in the Tauihi Basketball League. Quite a few players here, including her, have been drafted into the WNBA, and you can see why, as Bradley tries to get on the board early. You just hate it when it rolls like that.
I mean, she set that play up beautifully and just couldn't get the finish. That's been the story for her night tonight. Shot's been a little bit short, missing that layup, but don't count her out. Still early days. Plenty of time to get some shots to fall.
Plenty of time as well for Watts to inject herself into the game. We saw her with that distribution to Dodson and a miscommunication for the offensive rebound. Carr from out wide. Well, they ran out of time on the shot clock, which you don't often see for the Queens.
And you don't often see her miss a shot either, and I don't think she missed too many in the first half.
Prechtel just a bit casual, bringing the ball up court. Dodson knocked it out of her hands. Richards, oh, she got short, and then there goes the block that we asked for. And defensively, Queens stepping up in this third quarter.
Yeah, that offense was a bit disheveled, to say the least. A little bit of trying to be unselfish play, but at the wrong time. And then again, on the other side of things, Queens not handling the ball well.
Well, players not warming up well after the half. So a couple of just unforced errors from each other. As though Richards has ball in hand. Cutting across was Gallagher. Hurst has Dodson there again, just mishandling the ball. Prechtel though, and the shot clock expired again.
Yeah, just a little bit of a slow start for both teams. Bit of miscommunication, lack of fluidity on offense. Just need to settle down, try to run your sets and get some motion going, as that last play looked a bit stagnant for the Hoiho.
Carr bringing the ball up court, goes one-on-one with Hurst. Loose handles, but fires the shot. Lokotui under for the rebound and the finish, and that's the second chance points they really need to capitalize on.
Yeah, exactly right. Great job by Paris using her physicality to get that easy two. As you see here, the ball movement from the Hoiho as Elise Hurst lets it fly. Not much rotation on that ball, but leaves it short. And Krishlyn Carr again pushing the ball up the floor. Stella Beck finding her again. What is she gonna do? She's gonna put somebody on the skates or get the foul from Samara Gallagher.
Well, almost a shoulder charge there, what we would see in rugby. Carr bounces back up, but you can see here, straight into the shoulder.
Yeah, her hands were completely by her side.
Steph Watts. Again, she hasn't registered too many points tonight as Bradley brings the ball up the court. She has Richards just on the inside. She's going to go on her own. Passes it out to Hurst, who is unmarked. Really need to bank those shots when you're unmarked outside the perimeter, should I say. Oh, and again, not falling for Watts as Dodson comes in to save the day. Doesn't get the points, but will go to the TAB strike.
Steph Watts is actually scoreless in this game. So Hoiho doing a great job shutting her down. And again, this is the kind of team that has great help side defense. So the one-on-one ISO game isn't going to work as well as it would against other teams. So Steph Watts has got to find another way to create her shots, to create her opportunities. And you know, some nights, I missed everything. Some nights, the shots aren't going to fall. Some nights, you're going to have to take a different role. So tonight, she might be a distributor, you know? And you just have to find ways to still contribute to the team. As Maya Dotson misses both free throws. The Queens struggling from the free throw line this year and in this game. Shooting a measly 64% now, I believe.
Bradley surveying her options, decides to drive, gets it to Hurst. Hurst still not successful from outside the three. She's had a couple of opportunities now in this third quarter as Dodson almost had the rebound. Presto with the three. She scored more points outside the arc than she has in the paint tonight. She is out the gate.
Unreal stuff from Ashton Prechtel, cool as a cucumber as she finds herself for the 4-point play. And again, Elise Hurst letting that ball fly. Shooters are going to shoot no matter how many times they miss it. I love that she's still stepping up and taking those opportunities. Ashton Prechtel with the 4-point play. She has been unbelievable this game.
And that's why she's such a threat, because you expect her to be the most lethal inside the paint, when in fact she's lethal from everywhere. As Lokotui with a three.
That is quite the answer back that the Queens needed. Been a low-scoring third quarter, but both teams starting to heat up from behind the arc.
21-year-old. My English.
You've got mama brain, it's fine. As the Hoiho miss another three, the Queens are pushing it in transitions under Stella Beck and looking inside, but Prechtel gets a hand on it, and she is just a problem for Maya Dotson inside.
So immense. And again, Prechtel deep too. Oh, well, she started running away, got a bit confident there.
Yeah, she did. Hey, why not?
My confidence would be high too.
Oh,
if I
hell
was
yeah,
playing
you're gonna
like
shoot that shot every time.
Unsuccessful. Hurst with the rebound.
Not too many Queens down there getting that offensive rebound. Quite an easy defensive board for the Hoiho.
Prechtel to Gallagher. Finds Prechtel again. Dodson's there. She fires the pass to Bradley, then to Hurst. As you said, shooters are going to let them fly.
The dark horse of the competition, Elise Hurst. I love her game. What a shot. I love it. No hesitation. Gallagher loses her ankles as Tegan Graham misses that shot. I like that Maya Dotson's crashing the boards over Prechtel, though. Don't give her the easy boards. Because if she just stands there with her arms up, the ball's going to fall into her hands. No matter where she's at, she can be behind the arc. The ball will somehow find its way into her hands. But Maya Dotson, great job disrupting that easy board as she takes a seat on the bench. Give herself a break. Try to gather herself to figure out what she's going to do against the defense of Ashton Prechtel.
Gallagher has some defense coming in from Beck. And again, Richards hits the deck.
She has cleaned the floor of both sides of the court tonight. count on her to hit the deck minimum 10 times per game. But it's so impactful because whenever she falls, she gets the foul called in her favor. Oh, good find, but excellent disruption by Lokotui as both players hit the floor. And it is going to go in the direction of the Queens.
Good elevation as well from Lokotui. As we know, she's such a talented athlete. Plays multiple sports. New Zealand age grade rep in basketball, netball, and water polo.
That's why she's so strong.
So athletic as Lokotui, just 21 years old, as I said.
I've never tried water polo, but I've heard it is horrendous.
Trying to keep yourself afloat for that long while people are trying to drown you, not fun. That's why you play basketball.
Yeah, that's why I surf, so I don't have people trying to drown me. Smart Gallagher looking like she's in a bit of pain, or she's trying to catch her breath.
Probably both.
Oh yeah, maybe
Probably.
both. As we see the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay here. Maybe just not exactly sure what happened. Maybe that winded her a bit, but Hoiho end up with the jump ball, nursing a 10-point lead in this game.
Hurst has Graham on her. Prechtel. Bradley now. Back out to Richards, and they're so good at distribution, this Hoiho team. Bradley wide open, knocks it down. You expect that from her.
Yeah, I love that because she's been struggling with her shot this game, and on that first initial on-ball screen, she was wide open, but she hesitated and gave it up for somebody else, but again was rewarded for being wide open and nailed the three.
Each time Beck comes on to the floor, she always just settles things down. She just drives. You know, we often say that a lot of teams are waiting for someone to stand up on offense and kind of looking around, but each time she has the ball in hand, she always tries to find an open lane. And that time, well, she didn't get the bucket, obviously, but is at the TB stripe.
Yeah, she is a physical player. You see her and Richards going at each other this whole game. She does not back down from a fight, and I love her presence for this Queens team.
I love that fight in them too, because they're not the biggest players on the court, like muscle mass-wise, but they look like they just go hard.
They're the scrappiest. And Elise Hurst lets it fly, shooter shoot, 4-3. I love that from Elise Hurst.
Here goes Beck again, and as I said, she just always drives and tries to commit defenders. As Graham finds Truesdell there. Prechtel just guilty of having her back turned to her.
And what's going to be, I think that's going to be a blocking call on Stella Beck. Tried to get the offensive foul against Zoe Richards, but unable to do so. And you said it earlier, Stella Beck, she is creating so many chances for this Queens team with the drive into the paint as it draws the attention of the defenders, and then people are open on the perimeter for the shot or the next drive.
So good to have Beck back, and one of quite a few players out on court who were part of that successful campaign with the Tall Ferns to qualify them for the Olympic qualifying tournament.
Qualify for the qualifier. Makes sense.
Thanks to the official stats partner of Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa, the TAB. And well, the stats really do tell a story. The Queens, well, they, on paper, had a phenomenal start to the game, and when you look at their shooting percentage, they should be leading. But it's just more looks at the basket from the Hoiho, and they're creating more opportunities.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've had 10 second chance points, only 5 points in the fast break, and now that's one of their strengths, especially with Steph Watts and Kristlyn Carr pushing the pace. However, the Hoiho have completely shut Steph Watts out of this game. She has been unsuccessful on every attempt. She has no points at the moment and 4 rebounds, as the Hoiho get another offensive rebound. So again, the just defensive side of the Hoiho team is so solid. Their help defense, their on-ball pressure, and it leads to incredible rebounding opportunities as they get almost a third offensive rebound in a single possession. The Queens just don't have an answer for the Hoiho crashing the boards. But again, when you have them crashing in, you've got to at least give them a bump, redirect them off of their course to the ball. Otherwise, it's too easy.
Bradley gets it out, and they unsuccessful again from the 3-point.
Offensive rebound.
Make that 5.
Offensive rebound.
That'll be disappointing for Tanya Tupu as well. It's very static as well. Look at the defense. They're just not pressuring them, and then they manage to get a 3-point.
Well, if you get 6 attempts on a single possession, odds are you're going to knock the shot down. And again, no mouths were moving on that play. Defensively, you have got to be chatting to your teammates. So who's got ball? I've got help, etc. Lokatui, excellent job getting that rebound, trying to make something happen, crashing the board hard. Excellent shot by Josie Truesdale, but again, the talking here, on defense, you have got to be communicative. Otherwise, that is what's going to happen every single possession.
And you're right, it's so quiet. You've got more noise coming from the bench at the moment as opposed to on court. There's Watts has the ball. Lokatui, she's been impressive this game. Lokatui with the spin move, almost got it down, but she does get the foul.
I love that from her. She's putting the team on her back at the moment with Maya Dotson back on the floor. Kristen Carr taking a break. And again, hopefully she can decrease this lead with 2 free throws, although they have been struggling from the line as a team tonight, shooting only 60%. And that's going to fall after that miss as well. And again, they need to get some defensive rebounds, get some defensive stops, because right now the Hoiho are absolutely dominating them on the boards.
Bradley gives it to Prickdale, then receives it back. Roberts here, getting some good minutes. I really like the rotation that they're having, both teams. Roberts here lets it fly. Mitchell unable to get that rebound. Graham.
Oh, that was very close to a backcourt.
Very close between Lokatui and Beck. Dodson gets it to Graham. Graham lets a 3 fire. Not successful either, so they bring it up court to the Hoiho. Bradley from the right corner.
Gosh.
And that is now their biggest lead of the game.
Beautifully done. I'm loving the patience the Hoiho have on offense. They're not settling for the first look. They're moving the ball around, getting obviously they're getting multiple chances, but they're moving the ball and getting the most open player on the floor. Not the first initial look, always. On that last play, obviously, Paige Bradley had that open shot in transition and she knocked it down. But every time they've been down the floor, they've run their set, they're moving the ball and finding the best option, not the first option. And it's wearing this Queens team down because they're having to move, they're having to shift around on defense, and then, oh, the ball bounces the wrong way, they get another chance. Shot clock resets, and a second air ball for the Queens from the TAB. So again, the Hoiho, they're just relentless on both sides of the floor tonight.
Again, unsuccessful at the TAB line. And they've really left quite a few points out on the court tonight from the TAB free throw line. As Prickdale fires the ball across the court. Bradley back to Prickdale. Prickdale lines up at 3. That one well and truly wayward to the left.
And a jump ball goes to the Queens. Again, they move the ball a lot. That's a shot Prickdale would normally knock down. Had a lot of time, just misfired it a bit. As Gallagher in there disrupting things as per usual.
As we mentioned, Watts 0 from 6, hasn't registered any points, which is quite extraordinary for someone of her caliber. But she'll go to the TAB stripe.
A bit of a bailout there from Paige Bradley. If you are paying attention to the game, you'll know that Steph Watts has been cold tonight. So instead of giving her a little confidence boost at the free throw line, just let her shoot that one and hope she misses it.
Don't blame her for being cold shooting-wise, because it is freezing in Dunedin. Everyone's wearing their puffer jackets.
Or their ooties.
And it's inside. And she gets her first points of the game.
Yeah, that is totally uncharacteristic of Steph Watts, but that's just a testament to this Hoiho defense.
Roberts here was made to work hard for that. Beck steals the ball and goes herself as well. That's beautiful stuff from Beck. And as I said, she just is anchoring the ship at the moment for the Queens.
She just powered that ball down the floor with constant contact from the defense and got the finish.
Pressure being applied on the outside. Roberts here couldn't get there, so Watts tries to bring the ball up the court, and they're going to get the ball back as well. Watts can't believe it.
With less than a second left to play in the third quarter, what can they do? It's got to be a quick shot. It's got to be a catch and shoot, maybe in the air. Not going to have time to land and refire it. You've got to catch, release it quick.
Prechtel for the three. Oh, it almost looked good.
That would have been a dagger to the heart of the Queens team.
So again, the Southern Hoiho, they extend their lead now over the Tokomanawa Queens, and it's now 64 points to 49 in this round 6 clash in the Tauihi Basketball League. Don't go anywhere because we have the final quarter after this. Welcome back to the Edgar Centre in Dunedin. It is a 15-point deficit. The home team leading 64 points to 49 over the reigning champions, the Ansco Tokomanawa Queens. And it is the Hoiho with first possession. Bradley with a low catch. Hurst for three. Bounces off. Dodson deflects the rebound into the hands of Beck. Oh, that is a nice play from Watts.
Showtime from Steph Watts, who's only had 2 points in this game before that circus play layup.
Bradley to Richards. Hurst. Well, she hesitated, went to go find Gallagher. From the edge is Prechtel. Oh, bounced in and out. And then Gallagher again with another foul on Watts.
Again, that is who you want to come alive in this fourth quarter. She's had a very quiet game, and I know she's frustrated, but look for her to try to put this team on her back and take over.
Watts. Loose pass from Truesdale to Dodson. Carr. Oh man, she just crosses people up all the time, does Carr. Truesdale with a mid-range shot. That's better stuff from the Queens. A bit more structured on attack.
Yeah, absolutely. And it came off of the handles from Kristlyn Carr and finding Dodson inside, and Dodson doing a great job distributing the ball. So Elise Hurst is open again in the corner. Shooters are going to shoot. She is not backing down from the three-point line. Doesn't matter if she makes it or misses it. She's going to fire it.
Dodson again, she's going for those shots out wide. She probably just needs to get in under that hoop.
Yeah, exactly. Get the offense going. We talked about the Hoiho not settling for their first look. Unless it's Ashton Brechtel. What a nice, soft little jumper from her. Again, get something going on offense. I know they've got players who like that one-on-one game, but you've got to get some more involvement from other players on the perimeter. Get some penetration. Just a little bit short, Steph Watts, and she'll go again, back-to-back. Why not? Steph Watts coming alive in this fourth quarter.
Poor defense as well from the Hoiho because she got the rebound from outside the arc. It just was allowed to bounce all the way back to her as Brechtel looks for another three. Dodson with the rebound. Again, in that play, Richards was the only one crashing the board. As the whistle goes against the Queens.
Moving screen against Maya Dodson. Although I'm not sure she was trying to set a screen. It looked like a handoff play, but maybe she gave her a little bump. But just another costly turnover for the Queens when they had a little bit of momentum going their direction. Silly mistakes like that are going to give this Hoiho a new lease on life.
Gallagher to Bradley. Bradley finds hers, bounce pass to Richards. No one really nominating themselves, so Richards goes in and Truesdell, she almost got a clean block, but eventually fouled.
I hope those are knee pads on Zoe Richards' knees because the way she hits the floor on this last play could not have been a nice feeling. Straight to the kneecap. Again, a great job by Zoe driving in, just powering her way to the left. And she loves that left-hand finish. Most righties prefer the right, but Zoe Richards loving that left-hand side. Successful first attempt.
Maybe she's ambidextrous.
Could be. Well, that's what you'd hope if you play basketball. You want to be able to do both.
That was a big word for me.
That was really nice. You didn't fumble it either.
Beck not fumbling that one either.
And Krishlyn Carr shaking and baking against Paige Bradley and finds Lokatui on the outside. Unsuccessful, and Gallagher cleans up the boards.
She's been really busy tonight.
Yes, she's been massive for the Queens tonight. Zoe Richards hits the deck again. She needs to get some elbow pads as well, because golly, she spends a lot of time on the ground, but it works for her. And she's, again, at the TAB. Yeah.
Thank goodness she has that mouth guard in, because she is literally playing rugby out there tonight.
She needs to be in a full bodysuit. I love it, though, because she's so competitive. She's going to be the one that's getting the board every single time. She's fighting for every rebound.
Extends the lead as well for the Hoiho.
The Hoiho have been exceptional from the TAB tonight. Only missing one free throw.
Oh, they just got off to such a slow start, and the steal coming in from Bradley. Tries to go quickly, but Beck and Carr get there. Brechtel right under the rim. There was not much that Beck could do about that.
No, the one-handed grab from Brechtel just shows the softness in her hands. She got that ball, collected it, kept it up high. She's just so sound underneath the hoop. She catches that ball, keeps it high, and gets the easy finish. Krishlyn Carr lost the handle on that last play.
18-point lead. And remember, they trailed by 1 in that first quarter. They got off to such a slow start to this game. And a foul might be going against Brechtel, might be offensive.
Yep, I think it was an offensive foul. Again, point of emphasis this season, you have to be diligent on your screens. You cannot shift, you cannot move, you've got to be a brick wall. So another offensive foul called on the screen.
Carr gets it to Truesdell. Lokatui back on the court. Nice change of direction coming in from Beck, but disrupting was Richards.
That was a lucky tip there from Zoe Richards because Lokatui was wide open on that backdoor cut. And the Queens are an excellent cutting team, just not doing much of that. But as per Lokatui, again, having herself a night tonight, 13 points on the night, shooting 57% from the field.
She's been really effective both on offense and defense tonight, Lokatui, with her rebounding and also her scoring. Just making herself more of a threat as well, so that the Hoiho actually have to commit a body to her.
Gallagher trying that turnaround jumper against Stella Beck. Stella Beck showing her strength on defense, and Steph Watts lets it fire from deep. Again, just unsuccessful from the wing. She's not having much success tonight. Zoe Richards again drives it coast to coast and gets another foul. And she will find herself at the TAB once again, where the Hoiho have been tremendous. Shooting at, I think, 86% tonight from the free throw line.
Well, Zoe Richards has 11 rebounds. She has been working so hard tonight as the timeout is called, and they just have a chat, the Queens.
She's had 11 rebounds and 14 falls to the floor, so she's going to be exhausted after this game. She is a workaholic in this game. She has been excellent for this Hoiho team.
Yeah, you mentioned the free throws. The Queens at 56%. The Hoiho at 86% as well. The three-point percentage very low for the Queens at 18%. They usually average a lot higher, 30%. You can see a large pepperoni pizza at Sal's. Scan that QR code and get it for just $25, and it's valid until next week, Wednesday. Got a whole week to order that pizza.
We talk about the three-point play, and usually that's off the back of Carr and Watts, who are pretty solid from three-point line, but tonight, Carr's only shot 2 from behind the arc and making one of those, and Steph Watts has shot 5 and only making one. So a team that generally shoots the ball at 30% from beyond the arc, second in the league, might I add, is having a bit of a struggle with these rims tonight.
And we spoke about Paris Lokatui too. She's actually leading points for the Queens, as well as picking up 8 rebounds as well. So she is having a wonderful game tonight as Lokatui.
Probably a career night. She's only averaging about 4 points per game usually. 3 rebounds, about a steal, half an assist. So she is really showing up tonight.
And I think the Hoiho have just underestimated someone like her as well, haven't they?
Well, if you don't see her name a lot on the scout sheet, you assume that either they don't do a lot in the game, or they're doing those 1% things like the defensive stops. Like she's got Prechtel for an assignment tonight, and that is not an easy assignment, as Gallagher has a wide open layup that she completely stuffs up, and she runs out of the gym in embarrassment and gets a foul instead of the easy 2. But those are the hardest layups when all eyes are on you. You're all by yourself, no defense in sight, and it just completely muffs it. Sorry, Samara Gallagher. It happens to the best of us. It was just too easy.
Definitely something that everyone has done beforehand.
Well, let's hope that doesn't come back to bite the Hoiho in the bum. With 5 minutes left in the game, we hope not.
It's possible.
It is definitely possible, you know. The Hoiho did it the last time these guys met up.
Shot clock running down. Lokatui is forced to put it up, and she knocks it down. And again, Lokatui is continuing a stellar performance.
The confidence on her tonight has been unbelievable. Something we haven't seen much this season. Granted, she's super confident on defense, but offensively, I mean, the Queens usually are relying on the scoring abilities of the imports. However, they have been, bar Kristen Carr, have been fairly silent.
Carr looking for an option. Decides to pull up for the 3 herself, fires an air ball. We don't often see that from her.
No, that was excellent pressure there from Elise Hurst. Hand in her face. Yeah, you're exactly right. You don't normally see her miss those shots from the top of the key, but it's a testament to the defense and the pressure that they're applying tonight.
Bradley to Richards. Hurst just decides to change direction. Good footwork. But Watts was there. Shot clock expiring, couple seconds left. Prickdall forced to put it in. Cool, calm, collected.
Cool, calm. She's so soft in her hands that every shot looks pure, you know? She's just got that touch that you want and you desire in a big. Look at her guarding Christian Carr, the shortest on the floor. And Truesdale, excellent post up. I love her work inside. She is a weapon underneath. She uses her body well. There's not much to Josie Truesdale, but she utilizes her body well and can find herself open, wide open usually, in the paint.
Good defense coming in from Roberts here. She had a stellar defensive performance as well in the Sky Broadband Rapid League and is continuing that here in Tauihi as Prickdall finishes, rebound and puts it up.
Not a single body on Prickdall, who is the leading rebounder in the league. You'd hope that somebody would find her on defense. Oh, look at Tui with a little sidestep, Eurostep, faked her out, got the finish.
If I was handing out Player of the Day for the Queens, I definitely have to give it to Loka Tui.
Oh, absolutely. She has been so impactful. But as well, Stella Beck has done a lot of things as well.
Absolutely. And Loka Tui, well, she did her ACL last year. And is back out on the court, also re-signed in the ANZ Netball League with the Tactics.
You never guess it by the way she moves and the way that she plays defense on the court. She's so solid. Can't spot a weakness on her.
She's a mid-quarter as well, so she doesn't often shoot.
Is that a center? Oh, yeah.
Me trying to explain netball to you, I'm just not going to try.
No, don't even waste your time. I step every time I touch the ball. Oh, excellent backdoor pass from Eva Langton. Coming into the game late and making an impact straight away. So the Queens have gone with a full bench to finish this game. And Aotearoa Sofuanga, just like she did in the Rapid League, gets herself an early foul.
Bringing the hustle.
Yeah. Good setup there. Bradley rejects the screen and goes straight into the body of Sofuanga.
Bradley from the TAB stripe, and they've had a lot of success there tonight. Have the Hoiho. 15 from 19.
Put your hands together for Elise Hurst.
And I think now head coach Todd Marshall is also going to clear some of his bench players onto the court. Well deserved as well. It's been a real team performance here, but that woman in the middle of the screen, Prickdall, really did have a telling part in the game as Graham draws the foul.
Good work there by Graham, using that body, taking the ball up to get herself to the TAB, hopefully to be more successful than they have been thus far this game. Again, she's another player that can impact a game, but tonight has struggled slightly. But again, the Hoiho have just been unbelievable on defense, as that was actually her first 2 points of the game. So Tegan Graham, who normally averages about 8-9 points a game, has been held scoreless in this game up until that point.
Well, Ashton Prickdall is also 1 rebound away from a double-double. She's sitting on 26 points and 9 rebounds. And it's a travel against Mason.
Yeah, she just fumbled that pass a little bit. Couldn't get the dribble out in time as she was trying to collect the ball.
So Roberts here on the court, finds Bradley. Prickdall with the ball. Mason marking her. She's going to go one-on-one, try to put the ball over the top. Good defense. Good hustle from Sofuanga.
Yeah, that was excellent help side D from Sofuanga.
She'll go for the 3 points too. Just falls short. Mason. Tava Kenny. Graham for 3. Deep 3 and drains it.
That is her 5th point of the game. Great shot from Tegan Graham. And the lead is still 13 points with 1 minute remaining as Ashton Prechtel checks out of the game with a whopping 26 points and 9 rebounds. 1 rebound short of that double-double.
Quite phenomenal, really. 6 of her last 7 games. She's reached a double-double. As Bradley trying to decide what to do. Brittany Richards onto the court as well. And then losing the handles were the Hoiho. And Bradley will get called for the foul there. Just looked like she was holding on to Mason.
Yeah, that's a good foul. If you're gonna foul early, don't let them get the shot. But I believe that, yep, they are in the bonus, so she'll shoot 2 anyway. Paige Bradley has had quite the game herself. 14 points. 13 assists. So a double-double in points and assists for Paige Bradley. Again, living up to her reputation. 4 rebounds, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 2 for 9 from behind the arc, and 4 for 15 from the field goal. So she did struggle from the field. She could not get shots to fall, but she hit some big-time buckets at the right time during the game.
So what can the Hoiho do with this possession? Roberts here getting hassled by Kenny. And the defense worked too. Tauri Sopawanga goes up, gets the pass away. Mason again, intercepted by the Hoiho.
It was great weak side hustle on the transition D. That's exactly where you go. If you don't have a man, you sprint to the weak side. And that's exactly what happened there. And the Hoiho were able to collect that steal. So to finish the game, the Hoiho win 82-71.
Well, it looked like the Queens were going to run away with it early in the game. They got off to a cracker of a start. And they led the first quarter by 1 point, and then all of a sudden the Hoiho kicked out of second gear, and it was all them from there. They won the second quarter 29-20, won the third quarter 19-12. And well, the Queens won the last quarter 22 points to 18, but it was really that second quarter that hurt them. And we take a look at the stats here. Prechtel with 26 points. Are we surprised?
No, not at all. She came straight in and made her presence known. Lokatui with a career night, I believe, 17 points, an amazing game from her on both sides of things. Elise Hurst letting it fly from deep for 19. Paige Bradley with 14, even though she struggled from the field. Zoe Richards, 11 points, but heaps of rebounds, 13 for her. Mai Dotson, she also had a bit of a silent night on the scoring end of things, but cleaned up the boards well. Prechtel with 9, 1 short of the double-double. Paris Lokatui with 8, and the story of Paige Bradley continues with 13 assists. You heard that right, 13 for Paige Bradley. She is an assist queen. The leading assists for the Queens was Stella Beck, so she came in and made an impact as well. And Mai Dotson was able to get 2 blocks in the game. Zoe Richards and Prechtel with 1 apiece, as well as Stella Beck. And the steals, Gallagher with 2, Prechtel with 2, Roberts, Hare, Richards, Simpsons with 1, Graham, Sopawanga with 2, Truesdale, Beck, and Langton with 1 apiece.
Well, can you believe it? A win still eludes the Queens over the Hoiho this season. They are 0-3 over the Southerners. But don't forget that this week we still have a game tomorrow and Friday and Sunday. Saturday you get the night off. So it's the Fight versus the Kahu. The Queens will try and bounce back from this loss against the Polkai at home. And the Polkai will go again on Sunday against the Kahu. So it's been a lovely evening here at the Edgar Centre in Ōtepoti, Dunedin, and the fans are happy because the Hoiho bounced back from their drubbing last week against the mainland Polkai, and they lost to the Fight, and they get a much-needed win over the Ansco Tokomanawa Queens here in Dunedin. Final score, 82 points to 71 here in the Tauihi Basketball League. We'll see you tomorrow for another cracker of a game.